You just say when we're live.
Make sure we hit the focus.
Yeah. Yep. Welcome, boys and girls, and everything in between. We're here in beautiful Saas-Fee, and today I'll introduce you to the world or the universe of rails.
Hva gøy?
Har det greit? One thing that is so nice and cool about rails is that not only is there like 1,000 different shapes when it comes to like boxes and rails, but there's actually 8 basic techniques or ways to get on a rail, and that's without spinning on or using butters and stuff like that. Now I'll walk through them and give you some tips and tricks on how to practice them. On natty, lip, rail slide, and then they switch tails over, because it's one of the things you can practice every day, and if you want to become a master within the world of rails, you have to master these 8 techniques. Yeah, please follow me. I'll use this pole to show you the 8 different ways. Regular rail slide, then there's your unnatural rail slide, lip rail slide, unnatty lip rail slide, and then they switch tails over, unnatty tails over, switch lip rail slide, unnatty switch lip rail slide. I guess you don't understand everything right now, so I'll just show you on a rail. We'll just imagine this pole is a rail, and I'll walk through it and give you some tips and tricks. When you approach it lip, you go from the other side of what you usually do, and you lip over the rails and get your tails over the rail. Land here. One good thing there is to remember to have some ankle here, because when you're doing lip, when you have that ankle, there's more space in between the rail and your skis, so it's harder for you to get your tails caught in the rail, and that is actually what usually happens when people try to do lip on. And the same thing is important to remember when you're doing it switch lip. Now it's just the noses that you have to bear in mind. Pop and get your noses over the rail. So that's one good tip to bear in mind. Get some ankle. What do you say? Get some ankle? Just get it ankled up when you approach the rail. And then there's the last way you can approach the rail, and that is tails on. Tails, you'll usually feel really blind when you approach the rails. And the reason why the name is tails over is because you're going with your tails over the rail first. But here it is also really important to remember the ankle here. Not too much, because then you will just hit the rail with your tails before you even got on it. But just a tiny bit of ankle. And remember to pop, like you always have to remember when you're doing freestyle skiing. And then get your tails over and rail with these. And line forward, or switch if you prefer. So this was the first introduction to world of rails. Well, you're welcome. I just walked through 8 different ways of getting on a rail. And the cool thing about this exercise, or trick tip, or what you would call it, is that you can actually practice it if you just have one rail and it's really shitty. You can still practice these 8 ways of getting on a rail. So just go out there, challenge each other, have fun, and just practice a lot so you become a rail master, I guess. Have fun with it. Kill it.